And now, here's the breakdown with Justin Hunte.
Justin, what's up, bro? You piss off John or some shit?
I hope not, man. You can't piss off the gatekeeper.
I haven't the gatekeeper. No, you can't. You ain't been on in a minute. It's good to have you here, bro.
Man, it's great to be back, man. You know, this is one of my favorite beats. Chopping up with you guys and talking about what's happening in hip hop, breaking it down. So it's always great to be here.
We got some good shit you got for us about T.I. What's happening with him?
Man, T.I. has been doing comedy lately for people who don't know. He's putting himself in the stand-up comedy space. He's been doing different performances around Atlanta, ruffling some feathers from some other comedians in the process. But this is something he's been actively doing, right?
How long has he been doing it for?
I would say this year, definitely. I think I want to say at least for the past 4 or 5 months, maybe a little longer.
All right.
I feel like the past 4 or 5 months. And so since he's been in the comedy space, he's done a lot of comedy clubs. He gets up there and he does his set. Well, last night, T.I. went to a comedy set. A comedian was on stage. It was her event. The comedian was on stage. He didn't like her set. He starts heckling her. She responds by making jokes about T.I. and his wife Tiny's allegations. Now, for people who don't know, in 2021, T.I. and Tiny were accused of right. So that was a thing in the news last year. Right.
He got a ride or die chick.
Right. So the comedian, her name is Lauren K. She heckles T.I. about that. In response to T.I. heckling, she brings up his allegations, and T.I. goes off, and we have a clip of T.I.'s reaction.
All right, let's see.
There is nothing to charge me for. All of my right. No, shut the fuck up for a second. Hey, listen. No. As many times as you jump on that shit, nigga, I'm gonna check your motherfucking ass as long as it takes. Nigga, when you stop talking about it, when you stop playing with me and mine, I'ma stop saying something. Nigga, ain't no motherfucking case, ain't never been no motherfucking case, cause I ain't did nothing wrong, and my wife ain't did nothing wrong. And if you keep on playing with me, nigga, I'm gonna motherfucking continue to confront you publicly, verbally.
When's he gonna be funny?
You never had a forum on crime. T.I.'s innocent. I truly believe it. Get it up for him. There is no charge.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. Don't play with me about that.
I haven't cut his mic.
Hey.
Oh, she said cut his mic.
I'm not. The one thing I am is a comedian. I'm not playing with you. See, now you're getting a little.
All right, John, you can stop right here. Now,
can I hear some of the heckling? Do you got any of T.I.'s heckling her, or?
We have this one clip, and so here's what happens. She's on stage. Apparently, T.I.'s heckling. There's no full video of the event, but we have a short clip.
Okay.
So T.I. says, well, here's a short clip. We'll get to it, but here's a short clip of it. So T.I. on security cameras.
Damn.
Wow.
Right.
That was heckling, just him calling her a bitch.
There was more to it than that. Apparently, there's more to it than that. But what we just saw when T.I. was, took over the microphone on stage from Lauren K. Lauren does a video explaining the full circumstances. Right. So we have a clip of that. It's the one right to the left.
You see where the shit.
No, it's to
Is that her? Oh wait, that's T.I. I'm like, hold on a second.
To the right. Yeah, there it is. That's it right there. There you go, John.
So let me get on.
I'm gonna explain this one time. This is about what happened at One Night Only at our bar on Edgewood with myself and T.I. T.I. came to the show. It's about over anyway. It's an open mic. He comes. He does like 30 minutes. Now, after he gets off stage, I'm going to the next shit. I'm hosting. I'm talking about marriage and shit. He keeps cutting me off, telling me to shut the fuck up, calling me all kind of bitches, heckling me. So I'm like, all right, come on, stop playing with me. Like, it's crazy. You keep going, and I can't say nothing to you. He then starts yelling about how I need to take my wig off multiple times. Take your wig off right now. Cutting me off. Take your wig off right now. Because a lot of y'all are saying I took a cheap shot. This nigga was literally going on and on harassing me. I don't know why my eyes turn hazel. That shit is really ugly. But anyway, I said, I'll take my wig off when you speak on the allegations. Everybody was tight except for him. Nobody ever called. I responded to him telling me in a room full of people to rip my wig off and made a joke just like he did. So if you got a problem with it, not mine.
So that's her response. And then T.I. has a short response too, which if you want to see it, we got his response to what she said.
Might as well, shit.
Yeah.
We here.
Where the shit got twisted, never called you out your name, never called you a bitch. You give me a video where I called you a bitch, I give you $1 million.
Well, looks like he's out.
Looks like he owed $1 million.
Where did I call you a bitch? I never called you no bitch.
How she got more bass in her voice than T.I.?
Oh man. And then of course we just saw the clip where that's T.I. on the security camera calling her a bitch.
On her bitch.
Yeah.
Dog, she ain't wrong.
She ain't wrong.
He's dead wrong. T.I.'s wrong. Like, yo, bro, like, you could like, one, if you're gonna heckle somebody, try to be funny, but like, all right, fine, you wasn't funny. And I'm not saying she was funny either, but like, you got bars, she got bars. You spitting shit, she gonna spit shit. And guess what? She got a microphone, you don't. So be careful. And like, yo, if it's in public, it ain't no shit out of bounds. That's not ain't no shit out of bounds. If it's in public, then boom.
And especially him now wanting to be in the comedian space. You know, like I could understand. I mean, not that I can't even really understand any of the sensitivity the society apparently has towards comedians right now. I don't get any of that at all, to be honest. But to a degree, if you're not a comedian, I guess I could see it. But now he's playing in that sandbox. And now he is now looking to me like the most sensitive wannabe comedian I've ever seen in my life.
Laugh at comedians got to be able to laugh at themselves, bro. Because someone's always like, I know this for a fact, and I know other people do too. Like, yo, you're not gonna win every single day, so you got to be able to fucking laugh some shit off, man. Someone blazes on you, man, and it gets you, fucking laugh it off. Because if you sit there all butt hurt and fucking all in your feelings and shit, you're gonna look like a bitch, and they're gonna just keep going. They're gonna just keep going at you.
This whole
He's lucky it wasn't a dude.
Right. It could have been different, you know. And so for people who might be wondering, you know, the T.I. and Tiny's allegations, they came out in May 2021. By September 2021, LAPD decided not to charge them with criminal charges. And the reason they said, prosecutors determined they could not proceed with a filing against T.I. and Tiny because the case falls out of the 10-year statute of limitations. So it's not like it was settled. It's not like, you know, they were found innocent. It was just outside of the statute of limitations. That's the last available update on that story. So that's where that stands. And so, you know, just for full clarity on that, I just don't like all these people getting so butthurt about comedians, about jokes. It's a comedy show.
Yeah, and the other thing was like she didn't say shit about old boy until he came out there and he got clapped. Right. Like that's it. You got.
Right.
She's lucky she ain't really throwing. He's lucky she ain't throwing the clown shoes. I'm like, oh shit, T, I touched my drink. I'm sleepy. You know, like fuck. Like, all like she could have gone all night with fucking jokes. I mean, she should have. Real talk, she should have kept going until that motherfucker wanted to kill himself. But that's just the way that's just how I look at shit. Like, oh, you want to fuck with me? Like, let's go. Because he's trying, like, she's a woman. He's calling her allegedly calling her all types of balls. We already heard him calling her a bitch.
Right.
Like, you asked for it. Don't get it.
I took
balls and shit. Come on. What's that?
I was curious about what T.I.'s comedy was like. And so I watched a clip of one of his sets. And he opens one of his sets pretty much taking shots at comedians, you know. And so
we got that?
Yeah, we got a clip of that.
All right, let's see.
All right, from the top, right, Justin?
Yeah, at the top.
The trash on the stage. Hey, listen, man. I really want to thank Mr. Purdue and all of the other comedians who have been embracing me. I really want to thank you guys. I really do, you know, because I have found in a very short period of time that this comedy shit is very territorial. Motherfuckers is tired of me already. This is early. I'm talking about, imagine not being shit for 17 years in a row, and T.I. begins doing comedy, and all of a sudden in a week and a half, that is the reason that you ain't made it. Could you put yourself in that frame of mind? I think,
That's probably good, John. I mean, it gives you a sense of it.
Wow.
Right.
I gotta tell you, he's better than I thought he was gonna be. Believe it or not. Would I go see T.I. on purpose? That's gonna be a hard no. But it's kind of tough because being a comedian, the number one thing is people gotta like you, and I feel like he's already got that shit going for him, and like he should be. I feel like he should be doing a little bit better. You know what I mean?
Right.
People already like him, and they were laughing at. I don't even know what the fuck they were laughing at.
I just don't think he needs to be so sensitive and also say he's a comedian. Right. You know, I mean, I'm used to rap beef. I'm used to people throwing. I went to Bone Thugs versus 3 6 Mafia. They were throwing water bottles on stage. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Certain places don't have that same kind of culture. Rap got a culture of diss tracks, and which leads to a culture of beef, right? But comedy has a culture of jokes and ranking on people. You just go there and expect that. You know, he's in the crowd like this is a nutty professor or something, jumping up there and trying to grab the mic because he didn't like the jokes.
I didn't really know that it was I didn't know other comedians were supposed to heckle comedians. Is that common? Like I don't go to nightclubs, but I always thought the comedians just kind of stuck in the back, watched the crowd and laughed at the jokes that only they would get or something.
I think about it from a heckling standpoint, right? I think about it when I think of comedians, you know, making jokes about other comedians as part of their set or their bit, but you're heckling in the back.
Yeah, like I've been to some comedy shows. I haven't been to a ton. Have you been to any comedy? I'm guessing we've all been to comedy shows,
yeah,
right?
I've been to a ton. I've hung out at the Comedy Store quite a bit all over West Hollywood.
All right, so I haven't seen a comedian heckle somebody else on stage.
Never, especially at an independent comedy show. I've never seen it. You know, I've heard comedians talk about how maybe a major special wasn't as funny as a previous one from a comedian standpoint. But I mean, he's over here underplaying her whole joint. And that was her event, she said.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like no one's fucking up somebody's routine because they understand how hard it is to make a fucking routine. So he violated on the, like, I don't know if there's a comedian code, but if there is, he violated it. And then in violation, this is just speculation because I don't know what if there's any stand-up comedians, call up right now, 888-742-3345, or people that go to comedy shows and know the ins and outs of that shit because I don't really know the rules. But like he violated and then she fucking pushed his button, man, and exposed him.
Now, I mean, you've done stand-up before, though, right? Have you tried it?
I've done it twice.
Yeah.
And like, look, I don't like comedians. That's why I don't hate them. I just don't like being around them that much, you know? Yeah. Comedians are a very specific type of person. So I didn't really like it. And I didn't like repeating the same joke, the idea of repeating the same joke over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And God bless you if you can do it. Like, just, you know.
There's been a bunch of comedians since the Oscars that have talked about how you know, they're scared to go on stage now because of what Will Smith did, right? Which is that's pretty soft to me. But I just feel like over the past 5 years, comedians aren't allowed to be, they have to be funny within the margins now. You know, they have to be funny before anybody gets their feelings hurt. And that doesn't really make any sense to me.
Yeah, comedy did take a hit. And Will, if that shit slid, Will will start creating a precedent that like someone can rush you and punch you in the fucking head if they don't like your joke, instead of just you leaving the club upset in a tiff.
That's the first thing I thought about when I saw this T.I. joint, because there's a part in there, he says, if you don't stop talking about my family or these allegations, I'll continue approaching you publicly and verbally. And then for people who didn't see it, he kind of gestures like he means something more than that. Like he wanted to say physically. If you go look at that again, it looks like he alludes to it. Now, I'm not going to put that on him. He never said anything about it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say that. But the way he was delivering it and the way his head looked gives that type of insinuation, or allows room for that type of insinuation, right? And so either way, he went up there and grabbed the mic and interrupted her set because he didn't like a joke. And he's in comedy now.
And I feel for her because she's telling the sound dude to cut the shit and he won't do it. Like the sound man's a bitch too. Like, yo, man, like she's supposed to be running that show. Like this dude, how did he all of a sudden magic a microphone? Like, how did he get a fucking mic? Did he take her mic, or did he take another mic?
She had a mic, so I think he took another mic. That part's not really clear in the video. I don't know if it was DJ's mic. I don't know. I mean, T.I., he's in Atlanta. You know what I mean? Pretty much anybody gonna give T.I. the microphone if he shows up in their venue.
I guess you're right, but man, I probably wouldn't even perform. I'd be like, yo, like, this is my show. This motherfucker is gonna talk over me. Like, nah, dog.
Right.
I don't care how many records he fucking sold. Ain't nobody buying his comedy tickets.
Well, she basically goes off about that at the end of her clip. So there's a little scuffle, not scuffle, but a little, you know, face-to-face time, you know, some bouncers show up, and then she at the end reminds everybody that's her show. She's gonna say whatever she wants. Oh, it starts right here, John.
All right, let's see. Let's hear.
Roll that back a little bit. Bit of a misfire. All right, here we go.
There you go. You came a little early.
Give it up for one night only, because this is my shit, nigga. Don't get it twisted. This is my fucking show, nigga. This is my fucking life, nigga. And I do motherfucking comedy. With me, I say what the fuck I want to say. And that's on my mama. That's on my motherfucking mother.
Where's T.I.?
Sitting on stage now.
Okay.
Cut that shit. Cut that shit. Let me make another motherfucking thing clear. We don't come on stage to disenfranchise nobody or to shit on nobody, especially no black people. So y'all won't put that on my body. On God. Y'all won't put that on my motherfucking body. I love this fucking art form. I love this craft. And I'm gonna say what the fuck. Nah, get the fuck out of my face. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want to say.
She's scared to, like, I don't know, like, clearly she's not used to fucking confrontation, because she's talking all that shit. He's right there and she won't even look at him.
I mean, he had his back to her. I wouldn't look at him either. You know, you're gonna turn your back on me. Don't just.
He's walking back and forth. I'd have been like, I woulda, coulda, shoulda. I get it. Like, I can't really say what I would have done or wouldn't have done, because I haven't been in that situation. But I've been in situations where motherfuckers try to fuck with me on my show, and I look at them. Yeah.
I give her respect for even, you know, but standing up for the fact that's her show, and then it's comedy. You can say whatever you want.
She's supposed to stand up for her fucking show. Like she did the bare minimum, I believe.
Well, then she came back and explained the whole thing again online, and then she showed T.I. proof that he was calling her a bitch on from the audience. You know what I mean? I mean, totally adjacent story, has, you know, maybe has nothing to do with this since it was a different state. But Ryan Leslie, the R&B singer Ryan Leslie, got sued. A court ordered that he had to pay a YouTuber $1 million because he challenged a YouTuber on some information, and the YouTuber came up with it. The court called it a verbal contract, and Brian Leslie had to pay him $1 million. I don't know if he did or not. I don't know where the case went, but that was actually a story that's in the news. So, you know, everything that T.I. said just kind of looks lame to me. He said he didn't call her a bitch. Well, yeah, you did. You can't take a joke, even though you say you're a comedian. And in your own comedy, you sit there and say, "Hey, man, I've been doing this 17 days. I'm better than all y'all." Well, at least they have the heart to be able to take the things that, you know, to not wilt under the pressure of ether in the moment from a comedian. I mean, I'm not sure what's worse. This woman on stage alluding to these allegations, or Will Smith feeling like he got to defend Jada from that deadly G.I. Jane joke.
Oh, Will's a broken man. We saw the remnants of a broken man getting flung up on stage by his fucking girlfriend or his wife, his trifling ass cock chugging wife that been cucking his ass for the last 2 years. So,
cock chugging, oh man.
August knows. Who we got?
Kendra in Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk.
Yeah. At this point, T.I. is not a